Hi, good day everyone, and welcome to another episode of ICCA Live, Summer Made Easy. Now, today I'm coming with a very nice sandwich that anyone can make. It's not hard, and anyone can cook. If you follow a recipe, you read it nicely, and you just follow the method, you can do it too. Today I'm going to show you how to do it. But before I start, I want to tell you about um, a, a website that you can go and follow, and it's called live.iccadubai.ae. You can go over there, follow the prompts, and they will tell you everything what to do, because this episode and many of the other chefs' episodes is all on there. So go and check it out if you want to keep on learning with us here at ICCA. All right, without further ado, let me tell you about my Philly cheesesteak sandwich that I'm going to make, my way of making it. So there is quite a bit of ways that humans have been making it, but the original, let me tell you a story about the original. So Philly is actually Philadelphia, all right? So that's where it comes from. So this gentleman, Pat Olivieri, he basically had a hot dog stand. And one day, as one would do if you had a hot dog stand, you will not leave the stand, you will eat your hot dogs for lunch as well. He was just tired of his hot dogs, and he decided, okay, let me go and see what else I can make. So what he did, he went to the butcher across the road. He went to pick up a piece of steak. He already had the onions. He already had the bread. So all he did is he sliced up his steak, and he used a beautiful ribeye steak. I'll tell you in a minute why. And then he was making it, and he was eating it for lunch. And there was a taxi driver that passed by, and he must have smelled it. He said to the gentleman, Pat, hey, I want a piece of that sandwich. Or where can I buy this sandwich? Where did you get it from? And he's like, no, this I just made for myself. It's for my lunch. And he says to him, you know what? If you make it, everyone will buy it. And that is, in 1930, that is where the Philly steak sandwich came from. Now, the original does not have cheese. It only has the steak, that has been grilled on a flat top grill, and the onion, the caramelized onion. So I will show you that. And of course, my take on it is I'm not going to add cheese to the sandwich itself, but I'm going to make a very smoky cheese sauce with it. So without further ado, let's start with our onion. Your caramelized onion, one thing that people make a mistake in, they basically would put it in and they will fry it. Now, by that time, it will get too dark, and then it has a bitter aftertaste. Now, today what I will do, Annalisa is going to switch on the oven, the stove for you. So you're going to put it in, or I will put it in. I'm putting a tiny bit of water with it. The reason why, yes, the water will start to break down your onion. Now, one thing, I'm using the white onion. You can cut it nice and thin, like so. All right? So nice thin. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a perfect ring. You can cut it whichever way. You can even use offcuts to do this particular recipe. So it doesn't necessarily have to also be white onion or brown onion. You can use also a lovely red onion if you choose to have it a little bit more of a strong flavor. So now, when you're doing it, I'm putting it inside the pan. I want it a little bit higher, okay? And then we'll put some butter and oil to cook it later on. So for now, we'll do that. And then at the same time, we do our cheese sauce. So our cheese sauce is going to have cream, of course, milk, and then I'm putting a little bit of flavors with it as well. So that will be our mustard, a little bit of parsley at the end, just for that flavors to go, and my smoked cheese. So you can use a smoked provolone, or you can use other smoked cheddar. This one is a smoked cheddar, which is paprika smoked cheddar, which, oh, I wish you can smell this cheddar. It's beautiful. So, without further ado, let's cook. All right, so you want your pan on a nice medium heat, all right? And I'm just gonna put in my onion. So the onion goes in, and I'm gonna put, you can see I have quite a bit of water here, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of water, and then I have a piece of foil. Now, not all pans, unfortunately, comes with a lovely lid. So you can also do it by just taking foil, you double fold it, and you just wrap the ends over, so it is a little bit stronger. And that's all I'm going to do now, is I'm going to put it on a number 4 on my side, and I'm going to let it cook. This is going to soften your onion and help it to caramelize a little bit later. And there is quite a bit of sugar inside your onion that is natural sugar. So that automatically will help your onion to also break down. But this is a trick of the trade that I would love to share with you today. That can go. Thank you, Elisa. Now, while that is going, and it's going to cook quite a bit, and I'm steaming it so it can break down much quicker, I'm going to start with my next one. Scan. There we go. Oh, that's too high. So a nice low heat, not on a 5, but on a number 1 or 2. And I'm going to put in my cream. So I'm putting in my cream, a little bit of milk. All right. Now this one you want to reduce. And of course, I'm putting a bit of butter in there as well. So you're going to reduce your cream so it can be nicely cooking. Now, it's very important that you don't take or cook too fast. Okay, don't be a little bit on a patient side. Cooking, after all, is a lot of patience, but also a lot of love. So when I'm opening this as well, please be careful so you don't steam your hands. Naturally, with 25 years under my belt for being a chef, I don't feel the heat so much anymore. Okay? If you can see inside, I'm just feeling if my onion's a little bit softer, and it is becoming softer, but I want it to cook a little bit more, steaming as it goes along. Here we go. So that's going on. My cream is going as well. Let's see if there's any questions so far. Okay. So yes, what makes the Philly cheesesteak a Philly cheesesteak? So yes, it is originated from Philadelphia, as I said. And there's this gentleman, Pat Olivieri, and he started it off. He actually opened a restaurant. I can't remember what the restaurant's name is, but he opened a restaurant later on. And yeah, it became very famous. So with a small little idea, just imagine what you can create. So I'm just letting my milk become a little bit more hot, my milk and cream mixture, and then I will put in my cheese a little bit later. If I put my cheese in right now, what will happen is it will definitely start to burn at the bottom of the pan. So you want to make sure that your pan does not get too hot and your cheese does not go in too early. So I'm going to just let that reduce a little bit. You were asking me, why are you using a ribeye? Okay, ribeye, because the ribeye has a lot of fat. I'm going to show you how beautiful that ribeye is going to be that I bought for this particular one. My sauce, my cream is angry with me. It wants to climb out of this, the saucepan. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on a number 1. So I'm going to be a little bit more patient with it. No? Okay, so that's it. Okay, it's like now I'm happy. So let's go back to my onions. Very good. So you can see my onions are nicely, just keep it there for me. I may use it again. So I'm using another one. Very good. So if you see inside the pan, there is a little bit, are you going to use it on that side? Thank you. There is a little bit of residue that is at the bottom of the pan, which is, what did we say earlier? Yes, you are right. It is the caramelization that's happening because of the sugar that's inside your onions. So that already started happening. Very good. So all I'm going to do now is I'm adding oil. You can use olive oil or you can use another type of oil, whichever one, and a little bit of butter. Your recipe should be on your screen. And if you have any questions, please post it and we will give you all the answers. And let me know, where are you guys coming from? Oh, yes, please. Yeah, where are you guys viewing us from? Because I always want to say hi to my countrymen, the South Africans out there. And of course, whoever is here in Dubai, anywhere in the world. Now, if you look into this pan, and I wish you can smell this, this is a delicious flavor coming through. So this, just that little bit of water that I added in the beginning was helping me to get this onion a little bit softer, and it started the caramelization process. So I'm very happy with that. Now, the only thing is, because you have butter in here now, and the butter still has its own milk solids, you need to calm down the pan a little bit for the heat, because otherwise now your butter milk solids is going to burn with the caramelization of the onion itself. So let's take it easy while doing this. Okay. This is exactly where you want to be now. Now, another thing. Because I have still some water here, okay, and we have still some cooking time left, if you look inside the pan or the pot, and for you there in TikTok land, this is the residue that I'm talking about, all right? That's the residue. So what I'm going to do, it's something we call to deglaze, okay? So we are deglazing with a little bit of water. That deglazing is going to help the flavor that was in the pan to stick to the onions. And that's exactly what you want. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Always have a little bit of water with you, just in case you need more. And yes, here we go. So I'm just leaving it now a little bit so it can keep on caramelizing. What is any other questions? Oh, I see we have viewers from the UK. Hi, UK, Qatar, Tanzania. Hi, people. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Happy to have you all. I haven't been on the show for 2 weeks, and I actually missed you all. Let's see. Ethiopia, Zanzibar, Ghana. Yo, South Africa. Yeah, we call ourselves the Safas. Kenya, Saudi Arabia, Uganda, Somalia, and UAE. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I hope I'm going to teach you something, or you take something away from this show today, which is the one thing, like a sandwich, you can make it, anyone can make a sandwich. It is really how much love you put into it. All right, so now at this stage, my onions are really cooking very well. It's browning nicely. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in my seasoning. So seasoning, a bit of salt. Remember not to put too much salt. The reason being, you can always add, but you can never take away. So just a little bit of salt. The salt is also going to help the onion to get a bit softer and help with the caramelization, as one do. In certain countries, when they are cooking their onions, they actually start with putting salt with their onion while they're sauteing. So it helps with breaking down the onion a little bit faster. Now I put in freshly cracked pepper and my beautiful salt. This onion is divine. It's to die for. Okay, my sauce that my assistant Elisa has been working on. We can just bring it over here. I just want to show what I'm going to do next. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so. Okay, so just put it in another pot for us. So what has happened here now is because the heat was maybe a little bit too high in the pot, it's on the side, yeah, it's on the side here of the pot. All you do, you stop the cooking process and you just put it through a sieve into another pan. Okay, so while Elisa is fixing this for us, I'm not going to add anything now, but fix that first, always. There's always a way to fix food, okay? Especially when there's something, it's not burned, it's just a little bit of residue on the edge of the cream that came into the sauce. So we're just gonna strain that out and put it over into a new pan, and that should fix it. It's not burnt, thank God for that. So I'm just gonna go on with my onion over here. I'm going to have there's a little bit more residue, so I'm just going to lift that up. Remember, don't worry about, oh my goodness, I put too much water. Remember, your water is going to evaporate. This is steam. So your water is going to evaporate and your beautiful onion is going to be nice and soft, and it's going to get a little bit of more caramelization color. All right, so strain that out for us. You have a strainer? Okay, perfect. Elisa's on it. She is so good with helping us, being assistant to us when we are doing our classes, as well as doing the live shows. So thank you, Elisa. We appreciate you. All right, so now that the onion is done, okay, you don't want to overcook it. This is a nice caramelized onion. Look at that. Okay, it's beautiful. Okay, there you go. Nice caramelized onion. I'm going to ask Elisa to just put it for us in a container. And then here she has my magic cream sauce back for me. Thanks, Elisa. Okay, so we're going to put it back on a number 1. What is needing to happen now is I need to melt the cheese into the sauce. And I'm going to put a little bit of mustard in there as well. So let me clear this out because I don't need this now anymore. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, and we have our sauce going. There you go. No more of that residue of the cream, so I'm very happy with that. Good. Where there's a will, there's a way, my mom always said. Hi, Mom, if you're watching. I love you. So here we go. We're going to put in our cheese. Our cheese has a lot of fat, okay? Please, 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 if you're putting in a cheese, make sure that you don't put the heat too high, because guess what? Your cheese is going to separate from the fat that's keeping it together. So take it easy, people. Take it easy. And a nice low heat. And all you're going to do is melt the cheese. You're not going to boil the cheese sauce. You're just going to melt it in. And because your cream was already nice and warm, your cheese is going to melt right in. All right. Okay. So I'm going to ask Elisa to just get ready. The next step, we are going to do our steak. Thank you, love. We're going to do our steak now and the fried onion rings. So I'm going to give you some tips on the onion rings. Nice sauce. So I know I didn't put it in the recipe. If you want to have some color in your sauce, always put a little bit of parsley in there, or you can garnish with a bit of parsley. Parsley is very inexpensive. It's not hard to get. It's in all your supermarkets around you. So yeah, my cheese sauce is coming along very nicely. Now I'm going to season it. The only thing I need you to know, your cheese is already salty. So easy on the salt. All right, easy on the salt. So I'm going to put a little bit of cracked pepper, okay, and a tiny bit of salt, okay, tiny bit of salt. And then I'm going to put a bit of mustard. Thank you, love. No need for, oh yeah, I need that. I'm going to tell them about a slurry next. Okay, so here we go. Keep that there. I put in my mustard. The mustard is going to give a nice flavor as well. Now, please take it off the heat. There's no more needed, okay? As soon as your sauce coats the back of your spoon, that's it. If you cook it any longer, it will split and you will have like little bits of fat surrounding the rest of the cream. So you don't want that. So as soon as that happens, ready. And I'm going to put in my parsley. And I'm going to leave some parsley for a little bit of a garnish at the end. So I'm going to put that there. Now, if your sauce is very thin, okay, say you have not reduced your cream enough, there's one more tip I can give you. We call it a slurry. So if you take one spoon of cornstarch or corn flour, as they call it as well. So one spoon cornstarch, and then you add 2 or 3 spoons of water, and you can mix that up. So I need a teaspoon just to help me with that process. There you go. And what you want to do is when you're going to do it, and I'm not going to use it in my sauce. My sauce is perfectly thick, okay? But I want to just show you how to do it. So you take your cornstarch and you just mix your water in it. So, as I said, 1 part cornstarch, and you can put about 3 to 4 parts of water, okay? And this is what we call a slurry. Now, what you need to do with a slurry, you cannot just put it in. This is to thicken your sauce at the end. It works very well if you want to thicken a sauce for pastry, like your berry coulis. If you want to do a berry coulis and you want to thicken that, this is the go-to as well. So you need to bring it to a slight, just almost boil, and at least for a minute or so. Otherwise, you are going to have your it not work so well. Okay, it may split your sauce as well. But that's it. Cornstarch slurry. That's all it is. All right. So I'm not needing it. I'm going to start with the next step, and I don't need that. My oil. Can I have my pan as well for my steak, please? All right. So let's go over here and do the steak and the onion rings. Okay, sorting out my station over here. For us as chefs, we always want our station to be organized. So a parsley, I'm going to leave it for later. And over here, I have, this way around. So I don't need this anyway. Thanks, love. Okay. So let's talk about onion rings. Now, for me, onion rings is very important for you to soak your onion before the time. I have done mine for an hour now. You can soak it overnight. What happens to your onion rings, and you can see I've cut it quite thick, right? The milk will help to break down some of, with the enzymes in the milk, will help to break down and take away of that excess onion flavor. Now, for me, I'm going to use some of this to make my mixture later on. So for my mix, let me just put that there. For my mix, before I'm going to put that, I'm having flour, cornstarch, baking powder, garlic, and then oregano. So all I'm going to do is I'm just mixing this together. All in there. There you go. Thank you. This is going to help my mixture to come together very well. So I'm going to just take some of this milk. If you don't want this milk, you can use also water. It's not a problem. This is going to help my breadcrumbs to stick to it. So I'm just making like a batter that's going to help my product to stick. You can put some seasoning in there as well. And don't make it too runny, okay? It's going to help your breadcrumbs to stick to it. So Elisa is checking our temperature. Very important for your temperature of your oil. It should be 160, 170 degrees Celsius. Okay, so when I'm talking about using this or making this, you can also make this and keep it for when you are ready to fry it. So you keep it in the freezer. So it's really cool. And I'm going to use some salt. I'm very tempted, as you all know, I love my Cajun spice. I'm very tempted to put Cajun spice in here, but I'm going to leave it for my steak. But you can put whatever spice you want. So here I have lovely oregano. Don't put too much oregano or oregano, whoever wants to pronounce it that way. The reason being, if you put too much, it becomes a bit bitter. All right, so just make a note of that. All right, so now we have our batter, we have our flour, and it's going to be quite a process. So I'm going to keep it there, my end product. Good. So you start with your onion ring, put it inside the flour. The flour is going to help to absorb excess water or liquid. Like, just shake it off a little bit, okay? That's it. That then goes into your batter. Okay, and that then goes into your final product, which is your breadcrumbs. So breadcrumbs goes on. Give it a little bit of time to just absorb. Okay, and stick nicely. Don't be hasty. And there you go. A beautiful crumbed onion. You do it again. Same. Now, you can have bigger sizes, small sizes. I'm going to go with the medium size, so the same as that one. So it presents nicely on my plate. And, you know, I'm going to serve 3 today, but you can serve as many as you like. I know some people loves their onion rings. They love a nice, crispy onion ring, where it's crispy on the outside and soft in the inside. That is the way to go. So again, just let it sit there. Don't be hasty with it. So all of that breadcrumbs can stick to your batter. And you can notice that I have a wet hand and I have a dry hand. If you saw any of my other shows, you will see that I did something similar earlier with a dry hand. And you have a wet hand. So I'm going to make 3 of these. Okay. Beautiful. Look at that. Okay. Elisa just letting me know that it's almost ready. Okay. Beautiful. And there it goes in. Nicely, just let it stick. Now for breadcrumbs, How do I make breadcrumbs? So easy, super easy. You take your bread or any offcut of bread. So I know for the moms out there, you may have some offcuts because the children does not like to have the crust. So you can even take that, you dry it in the oven, dry it for at 60 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Celsius for an hour, and that will dry out the bread nicely. And then you just put it in a blender, and voila, you have breadcrumbs. You can make your own breadcrumbs, or you can buy the one in the shop. Elisa, we can take these away, please. Thank you, love. Okay, so let's clear this out. No, thank you, love. I have my lovely ones. Okay, ready. So we're ready with our beautiful breaded. Now, you can let it sit for a while so it can actually stay a little bit and get a bit drier. But I'm going to put it in now. It's not a problem. So a little bit of OCD on my side, making it a little bit more smoother, but rustic is good as well. So that is the one thing that we will do. I'm going to just clear out my space a little bit, and then we are going to move over to cutting our steak. Okay, ready? Okay, just move it. Okay, so here I have my next part, which is ribeye. So you can see a beautiful ribeye steak. What I love about ribeye steak is it has the marble, okay, and a little bit of fat on this side. So the side fat, I don't necessarily want it in my cuts, but if you want to, you can do it. So I'm just going to move this to the middle. So it's clear. There you go. Yes, ready? Okay. So what I'm going to do, I have, yes, bring that over. Beautiful. I'm just going to cut off this edge. This edge will have a sinew in it. So you don't want to have that in your final product. So just remove anything that is excess. And then you want to cut it. There is a little bit more here. Let me just cut that off as well. That is a silver skin with some fat. I'm not going to remove too much of the fat. And then what we do is you will slice it. So you're going to slice it this way. You can cut it in big chunks, but the original is just thin slices, like so. And you can see the beautiful marble on there. So keep that in mind. A nice marble. That fat will melt as you are going to cook it, and it's very important. So can I ask you to put on the pan as well? Both pans now. Check the temperature. Yeah. She's going to check the temperature again, 170. If I put it in, the onions, if I put it in and it is too hot, it will burn before it softens my onion on the inside. All right. Norjano wants to know on TikTok, tempura batter is okay? Why not? Why not? If you have nothing else in your house and you have tempura batter, go for it. No problem. You can use it. Okay, so this is my steak that I'm going to use. All right? And what I want you to notice is I am having a big pan. Now, the reason why I'm using a big pan is so it doesn't overcrowd your pan. And if you overcrowd it, what will happen is it will be moist and it's too soggy. And you will not have enough color on your beautiful steak. So you want your steak to be nice and not on a too much mixed. Okay, I'm going to put that on. Yes, beautiful. Keeping that. Okay, I'm also going to put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. You can put Worcestershire sauce on the end as well. And I'm going to put a little bit of mustard. Now, one thing about mustard, if you're using mustard, be careful. It will get color on the pan. So just note that. So we can remove this for me, and I'm going to use a little bit of butter and a bit of garlic later on. And that's going to be where I'm going to put it over the steak a little bit. Shh, it's a secret. I'm making it my style, okay? So here we go. And without further ado, my final, the love of my life, a bit of Cajun spice. Okay? Black pepper, freshly crushed, a tiny bit of salt. Remember, you can always add, but you can never take away. And that is it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands. Okay, switch it off. Okay, mix that, and here we go. Are you ready? Let's move. All right, coming up over here, I'm going to put in this beautiful, nicely rested ones, putting that in. You can notice that I'm not using my raw hand. I'm using the hand that didn't touch the meat, putting those in. And then I'm using my pan. This pan can be a little bit more hot because, remember, you are looking for a smoking hot pan, okay? This does not cook for a long period of time. Otherwise, you're going to lose all that fat that's inside these beauties. So keep that in mind. Alyssa, you can take this one. Okay. You will not believe this onion rings is coming out so nicely. Yeah, it's fine. Look at that, peeps. Really sexy. Okay. I'm going to turn off this heat. Yes, the heat is off, okay, which is very important. And just turn it for us. Turning off the heat on the pan as well, because the pan, I put it on a number 8. I mean business. When I'm talking about a hot pan, this is what I mean. So a nice hot pan, put your steaks pieces out like so. That small little piece wants to be in there. Why not? Okay, nice. Separate it, because the steak, it will start to stick to each other. So you want to just keep it nice and separate. There you go. Thank you. Spatula. Oh no, I'll use a tongue. Yeah, can you take that out for me? Beautiful. My pride and joy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, I put it on a tissue. The reason being, it's going to absorb all that excess fat. So we can take this away. Can I have that tongue? I'm using the same tongue. Not a problem. OMG, people. If you can smell this place right now, you would want a piece of my steak. My steak sandwich. There you go. Oh, it came out so nice. You want a bit of color, some color, like a caramelization. We call it Maillard reaction. Monsieur Maillard, he gave it a name. And it's just the caramelization of your amino acids inside the protein, which is a beauty. Okay, and then I have a crushed little garlic over here. I'm going to put it in. Not too much butter, just a tiny bit. Okay, remember, it's the modern one. It's not the original. Okay, yes, going. Okay, I'm doing it here. Okay, it wants it here. Okay, thank you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to toss this. There's going to be a garlic flavor coming through. There's going to be a butter flavor coming through. If you were to do this, if you have a big steak as well, you can take this garlic butter and you can just put it over your steak as well. So I have a plate there for me, please. Give me a nice plate. You have a plate? Okay, and we are going to take it off the heat now. It is done. Okay, good. So, gonna give this a little bit of a heat. My sauce. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where we are going to put it all together now. So, I have my steak. It has a bit of flavor of a garlic and a little bit of butter. I have already my bread is already toasted. Of course, to save time. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, dear. Oh, I'll take this here. Okay, and my sauce is ready. Beautiful. Okay, let's give this place a little bit of a cleanup. No chef likes to work in a dirty area, so I'm just going to give it just a tiny wipe. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are going to assemble your item now. Okay, for here, I have bread. The bread is very important that you choose the right kind of bread. Now, whenever you're serving or keeping bread, to keep it nice and soft and fresh, you want to wrap it. Even while I'm now here, I could have unwrapped it in the beginning, but you don't want to do that because you want a nice soft bread for this particular sandwich. And it's going to soak up all that juiciness of the meat. Now, some people will ask me, what would you ask me? Can I make it medium? Can I make it rare? Of course, it's your sandwich. You can do whatever you like with your sandwich. But if you are doing the steak cheese sandwich, I would not suggest to have it too bloody. The reason being, it will soak up in your bread and it will make your bread a bit red. Okay? Not everyone likes that view. All right. But here I have this beautiful sandwich. It is ready to go. So, Elisa, can you take this piece of bread? Just the bread? Okay. I'll use the plate to do my plating before I plate it on there. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put a glove. Anytime that you're doing ready-to-eat food, and believe me, my colleagues, they are going to eat this, so I will give them, let me change this one again. I will give them a nice, clean foodies to eat. Let's see if there's any other questions. Why am I using ribeye? It has a lot of flavor. And you know what? If you just joined us or just a few minutes ago, please go to live.iccadubai.ae, and there you will find all these videos of us as chefs here at ICCA making and teaching food. So please go there and follow the prompts and follow us along for this. And you can learn, keep learning with us, yeah? And someone asked, why not cook everything together? You can. It's not a problem. The reason why I'm not doing it, because it will be a lot of moisture that is going to be in your pan. All right. The original, when the cheese came in back in the day, so remember this gentleman, Pat Olivieri, he started it in 1930. Okay. Later on, the cheese came in. So now what the people are doing is, if they have that flat top grills, they are using something like a lifter. Do I have one here? Yes. So they use a lifter, and they will put this on top of the cheese, or the cheese on top of the steak with the mixed with the onions, and they will put the sandwich on top of that, and then they will lift it up. So that is the original. But for us today, I'm making it my way. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put my beautiful onion rings. You can make it more golden brown if you like. I'm putting a little bit of sauce on the side. Why not? A little dipping sauce. Okay, and then over here on the sandwich, yes, a little bit more, wait. Now, if you wanted to, you can put butter on your steak sandwich. I'm not doing any butter on it because it's going to have a lot of this moisture going into it. Okay, now I'm holding it like this so I can see how much of the steak goes in there. And then the onion, of course. So the onion, you can all mix it together. There are so many variations of the steak sandwich. Some people put pepper, red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper. They mix that in there. Some do a little bit of crispy onion. Some may do something like put vegetables in there. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. So here I'm going to go with my final, where I'm just going to put some of the sauce, putting it over. Don't put too much sauce, remember. You want to close this baby up, all right? Now you can take that for me. Thank you, Elisa. Done. And here we go. This is your steak sandwich, people. This is lovely. Now, yes, I made it small. You can make it long. You can make it small like this. This is all in the way you want to get the flavor going. So I'm going to place it on my plate just like so. And if you want to get a bit of color in there, why not? And ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to have you with me today. Any other questions? Yes. How do you stop your steak from becoming too dry? Okay, if you don't want your steak to be too dry, you can add a bit of butter, like I did with the garlic butter. You can do that. Before we go, let me just, I see there's more questions. Sorry. I love my steak sandwich so much, I forgot your questions. I'm sorry. Let's go. Can I prepare the steak cheese components ahead of time for a party or catering? Of course you can. Just make sure that if you're making your sandwich, that everything is nice and hot rather than cold, all right? Unless you're going to go with a cold sandwich. But you want your cheese to be melted before the time if you're using cheese. All right. Can I air fry my onion rings instead of deep frying? Great question. Yes, you can. So one thing about that recipe that I showed you, you can keep it in the you can keep it in the freezer, and it can stay there until you are ready to use it. All right. So without further ado, let's eat. No, I'm kidding. Let's go and have a look at what we have done so far today. We have our beautiful crispy onion rings. It's crispy, but also soft on the inside, which is very important. Do not overcook it and do not be too hasty with it. It is important that you take your time. All right? For your steak, you can cook it any way you like. You can cut it after you maybe grilled it as well. No problem with that. And if you want a more medium steak, that would be great. When you're doing your caramelized onion, put a little bit of water in the beginning, cover it, let it break down. Then put in your oil, your butter, your seasoning, and let it caramelize. And always here and then, now and then, you can put a little bit of water to deglaze. And for your cheese sauce, be careful to put your cheese too early because your cheese may split because of the fat content. without further ado, just letting you know, if you want to come and learn more from us here at ICCA, go to live.iccadubai.ae and follow us, follow the prompts, and they will show you where to go to learn more from us. So, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Elisa. We love you. And take it away, people. Have a snack on me.